Alright, guys. So, as you all have probably known by now, one of the problems I've had with Iron Man comics is that they're all literally the same thing. Tony Stark loses his company. He has to, like, build new armors and depend on himself. And then he gets a new company. He loses that. And then he destroys all of his life. It's a rinse and repeat every time. I did like the Jerry Duggan... I do dig the new era for Jerry Duggan, his Jerry Duggan's run. There's the words I was looking for. Ugh. Sorry, guys. It was a long day at work, and I hurt myself. In which I am, fighting through that and fighting through exhaustion and pain. Aren't we all, though? Anyway, so I kind of thought, let's if I could write an Iron Man comic, what would my run be like? Like, what would my pitch for an Iron Man comic be like? Well, I thought about it, and here we go. So, what would my Iron Man series be about? Well, for starters, we're not doing this whole Tony's by himself and he's losing his company. I would have it that Tony already has his company, or at the very least is rebuilding it after the last time it's been bought out from him or lost or he sold it to someone else. I would have it that this is Tony Stark, we know him as the billionaire playboy, but he's now rebuilding his company. He's back to being a CEO, and I would even have that God, I've been out of the CEO business stuff. I forgot how boring it was. Also, I feel like I'm out of touch with a lot of people. So he would forget how hard it was to be a CEO again, and look for reasons to be go out and be Iron Man again. It would be very much hey, I've lost so much. How many times have I lost this company? How many times have I lost this company to Justin Hammer or Obadiah Stane or recently with Fei Long? How many times have I lost this company over and over again, and I keep coming back? I keep coming back to it. So this time, it's almost like the universe is telling me to stay at Stark Industries. And that's what it would be really much. A lot of it would be about is that Tony would be the CEO again, but he's having hard time connecting with people again because he hasn't been a CEO in such a long time that he looks for excuses to be Iron Man at other times. So there would be the human element, is that Tony's trying to get back in the swing of things and trying to learn to be the Tony Stark of old without the alcoholism. But however, there's a catch. There is a bit of a catch here among all of this. There is a underlying problem with all of this. More or less, what the problem is that there's someone kind of manipulating Tony. And yes, that's been done before, but the difference is it's not someone who's using science or billion-dollar corporation. They're using magic. This is something that Tony hasn't really gone up against. And the overarching villain for my run would be Mephisto. Yeah. Iron Man versus Mephisto. And you could say, oh, but Tony has taken on, magical beings before. He's built an armor to combat Thor, and he built an armor to battle Null, god of the symbiotes. Well, those Tony always quantifies as there's science there that I can learn from. Mephisto is different, and yes, he has encountered Mephisto alongside the Avengers, but the thing is, Tony never really has faced Mephisto on his own. And Mephisto would more or less be kind of at the start, influencing Tony's actions or the new staff he's put around him. Tony would be also be at moments put under pressure, and he would just at that moment someone would be drink, Mr. Stark, and he would be so tempted, so stressed out from work that he'd almost reach for the bottle. It would be and Mephisto would just be kind of sitting in a human form, just not too far away, do it, Tony, do it. And it'd be a literal I would call the first arc Demon of the Bottle, where Mephisto's just trying to knock Tony down a few pegs. Now, you may be thinking, why is Mephisto going after Iron Man? Like, why would he go after Iron Man? Well, in here, I would have that Mephisto... Even Tony would be like, I don't fight Mephisto. Like, I've battled him with the Avengers and whatnot, but, like, I've never... Like, Mephisto has had at no point come after me directly. Like, why would he, like, come after me after all this time? And that's when Mephisto would be like, "Woohoo! Don't you know?" I'm sorry, I had to reference Mephisto from Comic Pop. Because the running gag for Comic Pop's channel, whenever they bring up Mephisto, he always has this voice, "Woohoo!" But the reason why Mephisto would be, coming after Tony in this arc and be the overarching villain for Tony would be that Mephisto reveals, like, this lost deal that he had with Tony ages ago in that cave with a box of scraps, and basically reveal, Tony, you think you made Iron Man? No. I did it. I made Iron Man. When you were in that cave and you were, down on your luck, and all hope was lost, and you had little Yinsed. I was there. Like, basically, Mephisto would tell Iron Man this story of, I basically came to you, and you wanted a way out of the cave. And in turn, you gave me your soul, and I gave you the knowledge to build the Iron Man armor. And he's like, no, that's impossible. I would remember that. And he's like, oh yeah, you told me, like, that was another thing. You were so, like, you refused to believe that I was the real devil, so you even said, hey, I don't even want to remember this, like, horrible, because his brain would be so broken. Because, remember, early in the Marvel Universe, Mephisto didn't really have, like, a big appearance or anything. So, like, it'd be almost like seeing Cthulhu for the first time. So Tony was so, like, fucked up after, like, Mephisto basically tells him, oh yeah, you were so fucked up that you told me that as a courtesy, like, out of the kindness of my heart, because I do have some, Tony, I erased your memory of me. And but I left the knowledge of how to build Iron Man. He's like, no, I'm smart enough to build an Iron Man armor. He's like, oh, dude, come on. You built a whole ass working armor out of, like, trash in a cave with some old man. Come on, man. Did you really think that he's like, I'm finally here to collect because I have seen enough from you. All you do is build armors. All you do, I have come to collect because I have been preoccupied with other stuff, but I told you there was a time limit. And you may have remembered, and that's the whole thing, is that Tony would be like, did he erase my memory, or did I actually sell my soul and Iron Man's just a lie? Like, that would be the thing, is that, that would be kind of an overarching thing in the story, is that Tony would be like, oh my god, did I fucking, like, really make Iron Man myself, or was it Mephisto? And I know some diehard Iron Man fans would be like, no way, Mephisto, and that would be the running thing, is that Tony would be off his game battling for his rather than fight for his company, fight for the soul of his company, as he always says. This time around, he's fighting for his own soul. And that would be the overarching thing, is that now Tony has to put technology against magic and infernal things, and he would have to and this would be Tony, like, encountering things that he would normally never do, which is, like, team up with Ghost Rider, like John Blaze Ghost Rider, not Robbie Reyes, he's hung out with him, or do stuff with Doctor Strange and other magical beings and get their stuff, maybe even get, like, a runic armor or something. That's what I'd like to do. Would it be a little controversial with the possible Mephisto retcon? Yeah, but hey, we're always fans of, that's what gets people talking, right? Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this Iron Man pitch? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.